Welcome dear students. The subject that I am conducting here is Java programming. Code of the subject is 3350703. This is from GTU Diploma section. The unit that I am talking is Introduction to Java. This is first unit from Java programming. We will try to cover the topic that is JVM, JE and basic structure of Java. Myself, Kiran Jha, lecturer in GPMT Polytechnic. So, the objective of the topic is, I have already completed the video from 1.1, so I will proceed with 1.2, that is Java Virtual Machine Bytecode, Java Environmental Setup, Java Program Structure. I have already covered the topic 1.1 in my previous video, so please try to visit that. Now about the JVM. What is JVM or introduction of JVM? JVM is nothing but it is a Java virtual machine. Virtual, it means it is a superficial, which is not physically existing. But we are creating the environment like actual. So it is an abstract machine. It is a specification that provides runtime environment in which Java bytecode can be executed. So this is the specification. It is not physically existing, but we are trying to create an abstract machine where we are trying to run the bytecode. And bytecode can be executed by JVM. JVMs are available for many hardware and software. As I said in my earlier video also, bytecode, it is platform independent or machine independent. But when we are talking about JVM, it is machine dependent or platform dependent. So JVMs are available for many hardware and software platforms. Now, Java Virtual Machine. All language compilers translate source code into machine code for a specific computer. So till the time before Java language, the earlier programming languages, they are following one concept. They are converting the source code into machine code or translating the source code into machine code. But when we are talking about Java, it is a two-stage system. First of all, we are trying to convert the source code, that is Java code, into bytecode, that is intermediate machine code or virtual machine code. You can say anything. There are many names. Bytecode is also called magical code of Java. So that bytecode is operated by interpreter from the JVM. The topic that we are conducting here, JVM is nothing but it is behaving like an interpreter which works on bytecode, that is virtual machine code or intermediate code. It works on that and produces the machine code. So JVM exists only inside the computer's memory. So JVM, where it is present? It is present inside the computer's memory. That you cannot see physically in your folder, but it is present there inside the computer memory. JVM, it is a simulated computer within the computer and does all major functions of a real computer. As it is, I said in my earlier slide, it is JVM is nothing but it is an abstract machine. So it is behaving like a simulated computer. So simulated computer within the computer means in computer it exists and does all the major functions of a real computer. This is the block diagram. What I said in my earlier slide, here the source code is converted into bytecode, that is virtual machine code, by compiler, that is first stage system, and in the second stage JVM. In JVM we are having Java interpreter. So JVM works on the bytecode and produces the machine code. This is two-stage process. First stage is compilation, second is interpretation. Interpreter, it is a part of JVM which interprets all the sentences one by one, and that's why JVM is also called interpreter. Bytecode is not machine specific. As I said, the bytecode is machine independent or platform independent. Machine code is generated by the Java interpreter by acting as an intermediary between the virtual machine and real machine. Now what is JIT? JIT, it is a small program which is part of JRE. So JRE is, in JRE you will get the JVM. So when we are talking about JIT, this is nothing but it is a small compiler, just in time compiler. JIT is a part of Java runtime environment or in other words, JIT is a part of JVM, as JVM is part of JRE. So, what is JIT? JVM includes optional JIT. It produces, why it is optional? Because it works on optional machine code. The JIT, it operates on the BIAT code. To make or to improve the performance or execution performance, we are using JIT. JVM includes optional JIT. JIT, it is a program which improves the performance. So JIT dynamically compiles BIAT code into executable code. It takes BIAT code, compiles them into machine code for machine. It compiles program on a method basis just before they are called. JIT faster than JVM. So basically JIT is that program which works on BIAT code which is present inside the JVM, and JVM is part of JRE. And that's why I said what actually JIT do. JIT optimizes the performance of a BIAT code, and it is optional because it works on the BIAT code which is compulsory. There are many work of JIT, some of them is data analysis and many more are there. Now what is JRE? Java Runtime Environment. Java Runtime Environment, what actually it do? JRE consists of JVM and the program on the other. It runs code compiled for JVM by what it does actually. So it loads the class file, verifies the BIAT code. This verification of BIAT code is done by the JIT of JVM. And after that verification of BIAT code, it executes the code. So when we are talking about Java Runtime Environment, the function of the Java Runtime Environment is, and inside the JRE, who is doing that function? JVM. What actually JVM is doing? It loads the .class file, then verifies the BIAT code. Verification of BIAT code is done by the JIT of JVM, and then after it executes the code. This is the block diagram of JRE. JRE is nothing but is Java Runtime Environment. So JRE, in other words, it is a part of JDK. I said many times Java Runtime Environment, but when we are talking about Java Runtime Environment, it is a part of JDK. As there is a word D, and in JRE there is a word R. So when we are saying JDK, there is a word D, means in JDK, there is a development process. By using JDK development tool, you can develop the program and then you can run the program. But when we are talking about Java Runtime Environment, there is a word R. So it actually runs the program. So it is not responsible for developing the program. So it is behaving like a client. JDK is minimum requirement to develop a Java program. So JDK, it is a collection of JRE plus development tool. As I said, there is a word D. D is for development of Java program. And after development, it runs the program. But when we are talking about JRE, it only runs the program. That is behaving like a client. There is no need of development tool. So JDK, it is a collection of JRE plus development tools, means we are developing the program and then we are executing or run the program. And when we are saying JRE is again collection of JVM plus library classes. As I said in my earlier slide also, the Java Runtime Environment is having JVM plus library classes. Here in 2 lines, I have again discussed JDK, it is equivalent to JRE plus development tools, and JRE is nothing but JVM plus library classes. JE, that is Java Environment, Java Environmental Setup. So JE is nothing but Java Standard Library plus Java Development Kit. So Java Environment is the collection of Java Standard Library plus Java Development Kit. Java Development Kit is having collection, or it is a collection of all the classes and methods. And when we are talking about Standard Library or Application Programming Interface, it is also called. So it is a collection of all the classes or library from where you can upload the classes as well as methods. So JDK is a Java Development Kit. As I said, the kit is having collection of many tools for developing a Java program, like applet viewer is there, Java C, that is Java compiler, Java interpreter, that is Java, Java P for disassembler, Java H for P header file, Java doc, JDB. So these are what actually, this is all development tools, small development tools for developing a Java program. It comes under the category of development toolkit. JSL. When we are talking about JSL, as I said, it is Java Standard Library. As the name is library, it means it is a collection of all the packages as well as classes. Inside the package, you will get number of classes and methods. So, which are the most commonly used packages that we are using? That is lang package, util package, IO package, net package, AWT, applet. So, these are the package or part of JSL or application programming interface. Now, how we will implement the Java program? We will see that the basic structure of Java program is, this is the block diagram of Java program. Here, you can see here, there are 6 rectangular boxes. First is documentation, package statement, import statement, interface, class definition, and main method definition. So, the important is, essential I have written here, that is main method definition. Rest of the things are documentation section, it is suggested. If it is required by you, then only you can write. Otherwise, you can skip that also. And package statement, input statement, interface statement, class definition, these are optional. So, as and when it is required, you can write that. So, in documentation section, as I said, it is the optional, as I said, it is the suggested one. So, documentation section, there are 3 types of command line that you can use inside the documentation section. That is single line command, multi-line command, and documentation line command. You can see here the syntaxes also. Package statement, this is part of optional statement. The statement declares a package name and informs the compiler that the classes defined here belong to this package. For example, the keyword that we are using here is package in small letter and then after the name of the package. It is the optional one. Import statement, again it is optional. If it is required by your program, then you can use it. For that, we are using the keyword import, then package name, then dot class name. Then is interface statement. This is also optional that we will discuss about the interfaces in my coming video. It is behaving like a class, but includes a group of method declaration. This is also an optional section. Class definition, again it is an optional section. A Java program may contain multiple class definitions. Classes are the primary and essential elements of a Java program. The number of classes used depends on the complexity of the program. Depends upon the program, you can use a multiple classes. This is optional section. This is the essential part, main method class. So, every Java standalone program requires a main method. Main method is the main and compulsory section of Java program. Compiler starts executing the program where it gets a main keyword. So, it requires a main method as it is starting point. This class is essential part of a Java program. So, compiler actually searches the keyword main and from there only it starts executing the Java program. So, it is essential one. Simple Java program may contain only this part. The main method creates objects of various classes and creates communication between them. On reaching the end of the main, the program terminates and control passes back to the operating system. This is the example of the program, of the basic structure of Java program. Here you can see here the example. So here the main method is there. Then the return type is integer. One variable is there having the value 100. Then we have displayed the name hello main, and then as the return type is integer, so we are writing here return 0. We have used here a function called add also. This is one of the example of basic structure of Java program that you can follow. Thank you so much. Keep visiting the video for my next sections also from the GTU Diploma Semester 5. Thank you.